This is Justin with Waves and Wheels, and today we're reviewing our MSR sub enclosure and our MSG marine sub grill. Our MSR has been designed here in-house, and it's designed to fit over 90% of the vessels on the market. Waves and Wheels has developed this through over 5,000 plus installations. So it fits into 90% of the boats on the market, and it's far superior to any free air application on the market. So by taking the MSR and actually loading it into a back seat or into a storage compartment or under a driver's helm, it allows the subwoofer to load up and perform at its best performance in that application. It is specially tuned for an application like a marine environment, giving you a nice, clean, tight sound, whatever the music you listen to or genre, from rock to hip-hop to house, it'll play it. And it plays it really well and with a lot of output, and the power handling is great too on this enclosure. Now, there's a lot of subs that work with this. Now, I can't say every, but the majority of the subs that we've put in this enclosure work really, really well. Now, to go along with the MSR is the MSG. So if you've got a ski boat or a boat with an open helm and you're able to mount the MSR in an application where it is open to the air of the vessel or the open air, there's no reason for a vent. It has open air. So now if it is in a storage unit or in the rear seat, we have the MSG, and it comes in white and silver, and the manual to install the MSG is inside the header, which we'll go over all the installation details here pretty soon. Now, moving back to the MSR, it does come with a kit, and it's crucial that you read through the manual, you use the gasket, and you use the fasteners. I've seen a lot of guys take this and skip the step, and then they don't get the full performance of the MSR. The MSR comes with this gasket. Use it. It seals the sub up and it gives full potential with the port and the output of the enclosure. It also uses a screw called a Plastech. So you pre-drill this fastener with a 7/64. This style of fastener is designed to bite into plastic. Don't use a wood screw. Don't use a standard stainless screw. It will not bite the same. The Plastech, if you set your torque back just a little bit, the Plastech will bite down. It'll seal on the gasket, and it will provide a very tight seal. That's one of the biggest important steps to this application. Here's a close look at it. You can see it doesn't have a tip, so you got to pre-drill it, but it works really, really well. And then the MSR also comes with 4 brackets for the application, and then it also has inserts on the bottom with your 1/4 20, and then we also provide your 4 undercut fasteners. Now, you don't have to use all 4 brackets. If you can, we suggest you do. We've used it in several applications, even mounting it upside down underneath bench seating and anything like that. So, works great. Once again, the MSG, we'll go over installation manual with it as well. Lay out your tape, mount it up to the surface. We use the inside as a template. It's very handy. So you can actually just trace around this outer diameter here. Pre-drill your 6 mounting holes for fasteners. And then apply your MSR behind it. Now you can play with it a little bit. Every situation is going to be different. Some boats or applications may work better with the subwoofer right up against the MSG within a few inches. Others, you may want to turn it and fire it up against maybe the freeboard of the boat or a sidewall, or firing it up to the back of the rear storage. So that's kind of a brief on the MSR. Once again, it's far superior to any free air application for our sound quality and output. Using great power, a good subwoofer and a sub enclosure, you're going to get a lot of output and really surprise a lot of people what type of output and sound you can actually get into a marine application with our MSR. Okay, so we're going to go over the setup of the MSR. We're going to start out with the MSR itself and a subwoofer, of course, of your choice. Today we're going to use the Illusion Audio E10. and we're going to go over just the basics of getting this set up. So we provide the enclosure with a 12 gauge wire. I'm going to get it stripped, make sure I got an adequate amount of wire available. Confirm positive's positive, negative's negative. Second, I'm going to take my gasket. I'm going to start somewhere here in the corner. And I'm going to work around with the gasket. Make sure it's following the contour of the enclosure, that way we know we get a nice tight seal. Okay. Now, as you can see, we provide a little extra gasket. So we suggest overlapping, taking a razor blade, cut through the overlap. Okay. Once you cut through, you can peel away the excess, peel back, cut out your square that you cut out on the first layer. And as you can see, our gasket adheres very well. Get anything out of there we don't need. Okay. And seam that right back up. Okay, I'm going to go around my gasket, make sure I've got it down nice and tight. And you can see there's a nice gasket the whole way around. It's going to ensure we get all the pressure and sealant that we need for this enclosure. Insert the terminal, make sure there's no frays on my wire. Pick my positioning. Get it nice and centered up. Okay, looks good. I like it where it's at. Now I'm going to take my drill gun and my 7/64 bit. If you don't have a 7/64, you can use a 1/8, but I feel that the 7/64 is a better fit and gets a better bite. So I'm going to make sure it's nice and sealed. And you got to keep in mind, the MSR is designed for several different subwoofers out there. So it may be a little tight on some drivers, maybe a little loose on others. We've had a couple brands that we put in here that are really tight right up to the edge, and we've got to work it down. We've had others that are about small as you can get, so we've got to center it up to make sure we get a good bite the whole way around. So now that I've got my subwoofer set where I want, I'm going to go ahead, take the drill gun, my number 2 bit, driver. On this portion, I would definitely suggest using a driver with a shield. Keep your sub safe. You can see the Plastek screw again. Once again, it has no tip, and this is the screw that we insist on using. Get it started. Set your clutch back a little bit so we don't strip out the box. Okay. Now we're going to counter the fastener or rim. Okay. And you can hear the Plastek screw bites down really well in the plastic, far beyond any other screw is going to do. Edge, ensuring a nice tight seal. I am going to go around it one more time and just make sure I've got the tightest possible seal, because that makes a huge difference in the performance of your driver. Okay, so now as far as mounting the subwoofer, it's 100% complete and good to go. Now the last step is your mounting fasteners, which we provide for, as you can see, a nice hefty bracket. That's not going to fail on you. We prefer if you can use all 4 of them, and we do provide the undercut fasteners. And once again, you can see this flush side, the countersunk side, is for the enclosure side. Set your clutch back or hand, manually mount them. And you can adjust these any way you want. If it works better to have it this way, you can do it that way. If you can't get 4 of them in, then get as many as you can. Okay, so now all 4 brackets are ready for installation.